All right. Hey, friends. Happy flow day. So today we are going to, I'm gonna just bring up for our theme something that I'm sure is not news to you. I'm pretty much preaching to the converted here, to this group of people, but I want to provide some positive encouragement and some maybe a little additional motivation. And that has to do with the power and the importance of moving our bodies and of exercising. So I wanted to share a little piece of research from the book that I'm reading, one of the books I'm reading right now, The How of Happiness, that I'm reading with my 300-hour advanced teacher training group. There was a study that was done in 1999 where they took a big batch of people over the age of 50 who were all suffering from clinical depression. And they split the group into three, and a third of the group they assigned regular aerobic exercise to. The second group they prescribed an antidepressant of Zoloft, and the third group they assigned a combination of exercise and Zoloft. And after 4 months, the outcome was that everyone across all three groups had improved or alleviated their depressive symptoms. And what was particularly interesting was that the group that was assigned exercise only showed as much improvement as the group that was taking the Zoloft and as the group that was taking the combination of the two. So, of course, all the disclaimers out there, like, this doesn't mean stop taking your antidepressants and just start exercising and all of that stuff. But it's important to recognize that according to the psychology and the science, that exercise, aerobic activity, there is a growing amount of research that if you're just looking at mood and energy and the brain and depression, that it is extremely effective in treating that. And so at a time right now, when if you're anything like me, I keep going in waves of feeling really disempowered, like I can't leave, I can't do this thing, I can't do that thing, I'm so limited, like I don't feel like I have any autonomy over myself. When I come back to something like that, it reminds me that I do. That in as little as 4 months, according to this study, now granted, we're already more than 2 months into this quarantine, that is in as little as 4 months, just an exercise routine could make you feel better, like scientifically. It's not hocus pocus stuff. And something that was just recent, that was, I heard on one of the news things, was that, just the reminder that there's not a lot we can do about, not getting COVID besides like separating ourselves, except there is, and that is building your immune system for if and when the day comes that you're exposed to it. And like the number one way to build your immune system is, you guessed it, exercising. So you're all here. I just want to honor everybody who's here, honor everybody who's been making this commitment and continues to show up, and just give you that bit of support and love and encouragement that when you're faced with a question of what to do today or whatever, that as much exercise as you can get in, not just the yoga, but also cardiovascular exercise, dancing, jumping around, going for a walk, jumping on a trampoline, whatever you can do. There are so many powerful, important reasons to do it. Not the least of which is your happiness. So that's where we're at today. Let's get started with our invocation to the practice. So if you want to come close to your screen and be on gallery view if you're joining live, or if you have that ability to just see some of the people who have gathered today, and pick somebody to look at. And if you're watching this later and you're just have me, look at me and make eye contact with somebody that you can see right now and smile at them and acknowledge them. Yeah, I see you. Hi. Yeah, with this energy of like, there you are, I see you. Yeah. And just as an encouragement, like a high five, man, we're doing it. There's a lot of things we could be doing right now. We're doing something really good for ourselves and therefore for all beings. And that's our hope and that's our intention. So sit tall, roll the shoulders back, bring your palms together in front of your heart. We'll jump right into our invocation today. If you don't know the words, just listen And if nothing else, you can join us for the 3 Oms at the end. So the meaning of these Sanskrit words are that may all beings be happy and free from suffering. And we ask, and we make it our intention, that our thoughts, our words, and our actions contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. We ask for peace, peace within us, peace amongst all beings. And we trust that what we are doing here is making a shift, is making a difference, not only in our own lives, but to everyone that we will encounter in one way or another, and so on. Like this beautiful ripple effect that we can affect great change. And we're being called to rise. And it's my pleasure and my honor to do it alongside all of you. So let's just take a clearing breath first. Sigh it out. Here we go. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And so it is. May our time together be blessed. Please bow your chin. Release your hands. Open your eyes. All right. So you can shift to speaker view now. Pin me to your screen so you can see me well and clearly. And if you are playing music today, you can go ahead and start your playlist at the beginning. And we're going to start standing at the top of the mat. Find a good Tadasana. So mountain pose at the front of your mat. I'll stand this way. Palms together in front of your heart. Roll your shoulders back. Your feet can be hip width apart just so you feel a nice steady base. Shoulders back, heart open. Lift your toes, spread your toes, electrify your legs. I'm going to move us through a little standing sequence here that we're going to repeat 3 times. So just be easy with it, okay? So sweep your arms up overhead. Take one hand around the wrist, doesn't matter which side. Soft knees, make a big circle. Side bend. Slow, big circle. Hollow your belly, round your spine. Savor each stretch. Okay, switch hands, other side. Big circle. Good. Release your hands, both arms up. One time, cactus arms. Exhale, curl back, open your chest. Stretch both arms up, inhale, stay vertical, and just bring your hands down behind your back. Interlace your fingers behind your back if you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open your heart, and then bend your knees and fold forward, knuckles overhead for just a breath or 2. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale, fold. Lengthen your spine. Take a twist here. One arm up to the sky as you twist. And then fold, switch sides. Again, just be easy with it here. Breathing, just taking all these actions of a mobile spine Bend your knees and then push down into the ground and come all the way up to stand. Arms up to the sky. Hands to the heart. That's the sequence. We're going to repeat it again twice more. Arms up overhead. One hand around the wrist. Big circle here, round. There's no rush. Switch hands, other side. Both arms up to the sky. Cactus the arms, curl back. Arms up, stay vertical. Hands down behind your back. Now interlace your fingers. Lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. Lay yourself down on your thighs, knuckles overhead. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Lengthen spine, heart forward. Exhale, folds. Lengthen your spine. We're going to take the twist here, one arm up to the sky. And switch sides. And back to center folds. Bend your knees, push off the floor with some rebound all the way up to the sky. Reach up. Hands to the heart. Awesome. One more time. Sweep the arms up, one hand around the wrist. Circle. Deep breaths, making more space for breath in those lungs. Other side. Arms up, stretch out, cactus on the exhale. Inhale, reach up. Hands down behind your back. Clasp your hands. Lift your chest, inhale. Bend your knees deeply, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale, folds. Lengthen your spine out, take the twist, one arm up to the sky. And switch. Good, both hands down, pause here. Plant your palms well, step back, downward facing dog. Great job, everybody. So bend your knees deeply, send your butt up to the sky. Push the floor away from you. Get really long in your spine, let your head be heavy, ears between your upper arm bones. And then just wag your tail a bit here, pat into the floor, spin your heels, alternate puddling of the feet, whatever feels good. Celebrating your body's ability to move and this natural resource we have to heal ourselves. 2 more breaths. All right, so we're going to take the right leg up behind us and bend the knee, open the hip. All right, re-extend the leg, square the hips, and then step the right foot forward into a lunge. Get it all the way up there. Lower down to your back knee. So let the hips be heavy for a moment. You can keep your fingers to the floor or to blocks, or right away start to walk your hands up on top of your thigh. Ooh, I'm sore from Beatles cardio yoga. I don't know about you, but oh yeah, I feel that. So breathe into there. All right, one more breath, just keeping it easy with the hands here. Squeeze the legs together. Cactus the arms again. Take the right arm under left, either self-hug or eagle arms. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades on your back. Keep the breath moving. And then release the arms, take them behind your back again, opposite grip of the hands. And as you slide your knuckles down your back thigh, invitation to lift your front heel. Good, one more breath. Remember, you can always take your hands to your hips instead of interlace if that's better for your body. Front heel down, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fingers down. Good, plant the palms. Step back, down dog. We're gonna take 5 cow and cats between sides. So softly lower down to your knees. And start to move through some undulations of the spine, of the pelvis, of the heart, of the breath. Okay, when you've done about 5, you're gonna lift back up to downward facing dog. Steady breath. Take the left leg up to the sky, please. Bend your knee, open your hip. Give it a breath. Extend the legs, square the hips, and step the left foot through into lunge. Get it all the way up there. Lower down to your back knee. Give it a moment to just let your hips settle. And then when it feels appropriate, hands can come to your front thigh. And just breathe into your edges. So squeeze your legs together. Take your left arm under right this time for your eagle variation of arms. Make sure you're able to continue smooth breath. And then release the arms. Take the hands behind the back. Again, take the awkward grip. And as you slide your knuckles down your back thigh, consider extra challenge of lifting the front heel. Good, front heel down, sweep the arms up. Exhale, palm the mat and step back, downward facing dog. Five times, shift forward and back to plank and to downward facing dog. So inhale to plank, exhale dog. Shoulders over wrists, hips and shoulders in line with each other. Toning the belly away from the ground. Make sure your head is in line with your spine. Okay, so after your 5th one, we'll hold in plank for a breath. And then it's up to you, lower to the knees or pass through full chaturanga all the way to the floor. Stretch out your legs. A couple lifts here, a couple cobra lifts, just in your own way. Just let it feel good. Come to whatever height feels good. You can widen your hands. Take another breath. And then we'll just, for a moment, bring it back to child's pose, just to orient ourselves to child's pose. Forehead to the mat. A loving reminder that this pose or something like it energetically is always available to you anytime you need a rest or you need to refocus your intention. So stay as long as you like or you need, and when you're ready, return to downward facing dog, please. All right, take your right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right pinky finger. Keep your toes more or less facing forward for lunge twist. We just got more space between the front hand and the front foot. So you're going to start to twist here. You can let the elbow lead so you get a little more action in your upper back and just start to twist. You could circle wrists. You could circle the whole arm. Just let it be intuitive here. One more breath. Good, and come back to center. You're gonna rock forward to the front of your mat. Your feet are hip width apart, but still all 10 toes facing straight ahead. Uttanasana. Bend your knees deeply. If you want to take a block, you can, not necessary, or just imagine you have a block between your thighs. Sit deep like you were sitting into a chair and take your hands into this lotus mudra in front of your chest. So hips are back, belly is toned, sitting low. And again, oh yeah, there are my muscles that were working hard in yesterday's class that are now shaking. So that's cool. Okay, keep your chest lifted. One more breath, lotus mudra, filling your well, filling your cup with health and positivity and good energy. And then we're gonna offer it up to the sky as we stand. Reach up, big stretch. And let the arms float down and around as you fold all the way forward. Good. Turn the toes open now into Malasana. So into your squat, facing the front of your mat. Thighs open, sitting bones drawing together. Lift the pelvic floor. 2 more breaths. Good, fingertips to the ground. Lift your hips just halfway. Turn your toes straight ahead again. And this time, step your right foot to the back of the mat so that you're lunging with the other leg in front. Right hand over to the right. Start to twist left. Left arm up, circling wrist, circling arm. Just enjoying your body here, whatever it's capable of. Deep breathing, really important. Good. And both hands back down. You're gonna send your left leg straight up behind you. Hips are square. And then float it down, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Shift forward to a plank. So it'll be up to you. You can take the knees down and lower down for a cobra, or just playing with the full vinyasa. Shifting forward on the tiptoes, we're gonna go chaturanga to upward facing dog. Elbows stay over the wrists. Transition to the tops of the feet. Push into the floor, lift up. Straight arms, straight legs, tops of the feet, press down. And then chin to chest, slow transition, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Okay, a little cardio burst here, just in going with our theme. So we're gonna take the right leg up. If you wanna pause and watch for a moment, you can. We're gonna take the right leg up, take the knee into the nose, and we're just gonna start to swing this way. Now the invitation is to hop the foot when you kick it back. You're not trying to find a headstand, you're just trying to use momentum to catch a little air. Okay, so we're gonna try, it's a lot, 7 to 10 on each side. Huh? Let's try. Use your breath. You can breathe out through your mouth. And maybe take a break between sides. All right, I'm going for side 2. Here I go. Even if you don't catch air, you're still working cardiovascularly here. Legs are moving. Hold in weight with your arms. If you can find some playfulness. Woo. Oh. Good job, you guys. Catch your breath. Grab water if you need it. And that feeling of being out of breath, like I am, heart beating, something to celebrate. It's like your body's like, I'm working for you. I'm working for you. You're going to feel positive benefits from this. Keep going, right? Couple more breaths just to, well, for me to catch my breath. We're going to be making our way back to downward facing dog. So it might be challenging to start to work toward the Ujjayi breath again. So do the best you can, study it out. And if you've got blocks today, you might want your blocks up toward the front of the mat for the next bit. Okay, here we go. Stretch your right leg up behind you, inhale. As you exhale, step forward into a lunge. We're gonna stay lifted here, and we're gonna actually come up to vertical. So charge up your back leg, come up to vertical, and then take your arms to the sky. So just some steadiness now after all that movement. To warrior two, so just spinning the back heel down. This doesn't have to be the deepest warrior two ever. Just a little bit of bend in that front knee will do. Again, steadiness, directing that energy. So we're gonna go into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, but if you're able, see if you can not touch the floor with your hands. So I'm gonna hop in a little bit. Now, of course, option one, I could go straight to the block, or see about catching some air and then tilting. Belly and heart are open to the side. Feel free to find the block or the floor if and when you like. That's it. Both hands down, square the hips. Just a moment in standing splits. And then you're going to bring the left knee down in line with the right toes for a half hero for just a moment. Hands to prayer, fingertips to the third eye. And honoring the gratitude. And then fingertips back down to the ground. Good. Lift your hips, send that left leg all the way back, plant your palms, move through vinyasa or skip it and go straight to downward facing dog. Down dog. Second side, left leg, lift it up. Step it through to lunge. So you know we're going to be coming upright, so set your foundation well, tone up your back leg, squeeze into the midline, come upright. Find your balance, and then get steady. Few breaths here. Arms lift. I strongly recommend that you lift your back heel as high as you can rather than stretching it back this way. It gives you more power into your core. And then spin the back heel down, warrior two. Again, try to be easy with it. Focused, but easy. All right, here we go into that Ardha Chandrasana. So finding your way, take your time, focus, maybe hop in a little bit. Test your balance and your ability to fall well. One more breath. So keep the back leg lifted, both hands to the floor, square off your hips, just a moment in standing splits. And then bring your right knee down to meet your left toes, just a moment to come upright. Half hero. Good, fingertips down. Lift your hips just enough to send that right leg back. And then again, move through vinyasa or skip it and go straight to downward facing. Okay, so we're gonna start the same way, repeating it, but adding a few little things. Right leg up behind you. Step it through to lunge. When you feel settled, come upright and settle here. A little lift as you inhale, as you exhale, spin the back heel down, warrior two. Let's add in a reverse warrior this time. So left hand to the hip or to the thigh, lean back, curl to the side with an invitation to lift your front heel. Good. If your heel is lifted, put it down. Now we're going to go into that Ardha Chandrasana. Again, maybe a little more challenging because we have farther to go without touching the floor in the balance. Slow and steady with courage to find your balance. Yes, both hands to the floor, little standing splits. And knee comes in to meet the right toes. Lift the chest a moment, hands in prayer. Good, fingertips down. Maybe grab your blocks here if you want, because from here, we're gonna tuck the back toes and go into pyramid. So my right leg is still in front, pyramid pose, both legs are straight. And just enjoy a fold over your front shin. Steady, deep breaths, sending oxygen to all of your muscles, to all your connective tissue, to all your joints. Great, let's take this into a half lift to lengthen the spine. Try to tabletop your spine. So the spine is parallel to the front floor, okay? Anchoring down through your back heel as much as you can. Let's see how we do with a twist here, revolved triangle. So you can just start by bringing right hands to hip. Step 2, to twist the chest to the right. Step 3, perhaps arms up, just the one arm. Just 3 breaths. Good, that's it, both hands to the blocks. Soften your front knee, spin to the ball of the back foot, and keep sending that foot back until you come back into a lunge and can lower your back knee down again. Good. Chest lifts. Squeeze the legs together, bring both arms up. We're gonna take a side bend. So think right hand around left wrist, side bend to the right, kind of how we did in the very beginning, except we won't make a full circle. Side bend here. Use your right hand to lengthen your left hand away from your chest. Stay on the side bend, bring your right hand to your right hip. And now with all that length in the left side body, cross your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. So you can stay here just like this, with your hand on hip and elbow for some leverage, or you can fold your hands into prayer. Keep squeezing your sitting bones together. This is gonna get into your outer hip and glute. Any variations are here are welcome. If you wanna lift your back knee, you're welcome, or take a half or full bind. You can play with that. We've got a few more breaths. Good. Gently release on the inhale back to center. Move your blocks off to the side. Make sure you've got enough room around you. We're going to have the invitation for a wild thing to close this side of the sequence. You're going to lift your back knee. Send your right leg up and over, three-legged dog, knee open. You can just stay here or slowly start to flip the dog. Right foot comes behind. Keep your elbow crease facing front, heart toward the sky. Big stretch. Good. Look to the floor when you're ready to release. Just come back to plank and lower all the way to the floor. Woo! Little Sphinx here. Come up onto your elbows. Good. On the elbows, shoulders back. And then we'll enjoy just a little break here. Turn your face to one side and lay. So of course you're giving yourself like a little physical rest, but you're giving yourself an opportunity to actually feel the effects of what you've done, to feel your heart beating, to feel the warmth of your skin, the sweat if you've been sweating, to feel the effects of your breathing. You did that, right? You did that. It's empowering to remember, especially during these times, that the power that we have, how we can change things. So gather a big breath. Come to your palms. You do the whole thing. We get to do the whole thing on the other side. Downward facing dog. So just a couple of breaths here, just to establish this thread of the breath. In and out. Okay, so we're going to start with the left leg to rise. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot forward into lunge. Let yourself get settled. And then come upright, active lunge, back heel lifts. Arms up. Good, inhale, little lift. Spin the back heel, warrior two. So we're going to take the reverse warrior on this side. So hand to hip or to the thigh. Curl back. Option to lift your front heel. Good, put your heel down and without flinging, just very mindful, use that space. We're going into the balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Yeah. And a little standing split, both hands to the floor, square your hips. And then knee folds in, little pause in your half hero, hands in prayer. Good, release your hands, find your blocks. As you lift your hips a bit, tuck your back toes, pyramid. So left leg forward, pyramid. Back heel spins in toward the midline a little bit so you can anchor your heel. Both legs straight as best you can, and then fold. Lengthen into a half lift. Try to tabletop your spine. Strong legs. Really extend through your back heel energetically. Seeing how we do with the twist. Left hand to the left hip to start. You can stay there. Or start to twist your heart to the left. Your choice, stay there or extend the arm for the last step. Good, and then gently release both hands to the floor. Bend your front knee a bit, spin your back heel up and start to slide it back until you can get into Anjaneyasana lunge. Okay. Good. So squeeze your thighs together, arms up overhead, left hand around the right wrist, lateral side stretch, so to the left. Keep the side bend, just take your left hand to your left hip, keeping all that length. Start to twist right elbow to the outside of the right thigh. You can stay here or fold the hands into prayer. Keep squeezing sitting bones together. Couple breaths, any variations welcome. Good, and you'll gently release on an inhale. Ooh, come back to center, move your blocks off to the side. So the last piece here of this sequence is the wild thing invitation. So palm the mat, lift the back knee, send your left leg up and over. Stay there or with control and as quietly as you can. Left foot finds the floor behind you. Make sure you keep spinning the right elbow crease toward the front of your mat. Open the heart. Look down to the floor to orient yourself. With control, flip back to plank. And one more time, lower all the way down to the floor. Woo. Any back bend of your choosing here for just a couple of breaths. Might just be cobra or sphinx. And then we're just gonna take a little pause like we did before with the face turned to the other side. And then lay down. And just enjoy feeling the effects of what you did with your body. Take one more breath where you are. Good. Place your palms back down onto the ground. Come up. And you can come to a seat for a moment. Okay, so we've got one more challenge piece here, and then we're gonna start to cool down with some stretches and whatnot. But the challenge will be with arm balance. So we've had some weight in our arms, we've worked strong arms with playfulness in our heart, right? So one option is to do maybe what you know, if you're working on your Bakasana, big toes together, which is pretty much like the first step in all arm balances, right? Lifting hips, making a shelf with your triceps, elbows back, chaturanga arms, shifting forward, and playing with lifting your toes. Or invitation to play with shoulder squeezing pose, which goes like this. So this is legs come wide, kind of like a football squat. We've done this before. Arms go back and through, and then I cup my heels with my hands. I'm gonna try to sit down on my triceps again. And as I send my hips back, I can start to take my toes forward, and I'm gonna try to cross my toes and squeeze my shoulders. The good news is that's your fall. So, you know, courage either way. Usually I like to fall on my butt rather than my face if I'm not sure, but it's up to you. So maybe playing around with a little bit of that. Now, if that's too much, you could also do your arm balance by taking a few breaths in side plank. Arm balance just one at a time. Okay, so invitation to just play. I'll just quietly demonstrate. I'll move through all of them. So if you need to see alignment points, you can. Otherwise, just like challenge yourself in some way. We're getting stronger, right? We're playing, we're challenging our nervous system, we're challenging our physical body, our muscles, our strength, our balance. When you're done, you're done. And you can just sit legs crossed to give your wrists some love. So one thing I like to do is this, right? Loose interlace. And then I'm sort of alternating, rolling. Remember, our wrists and our hands need to get stronger to be able to hold our weight. Like we weren't born meant to walk around on our hands. So we have to teach our body that. So it's very, very understandable and normal to get really tired in your wrists and your hands, but we need to build strength here in our fingers, forearms, all of this, just as much as core strength and any of the other things. So just feel what feels good. Here's a couple of wrist stretches I like. And you could flip this way. And then of course you can just shake out your hands, flick your fingers. All right, bring the soles of your feet together now. Rock a little side to side so you can just naturally get your like butt flesh behind you. And for the first variation here, we're going to try to keep the back flat-ish, you know. So letting the pelvis roll forward. You might just come here until you feel a natural stopping point. So length in your spine. Tuck your chin just slightly so that it's a natural, you got your natural, feeling natural in your throat. And then just take some breaths and just see with each breath if you're able to soften a little bit. And then at a certain point, you might feel like I do, like I really just want to fold the rest of the way. Do that. So coming from that length, and then just let yourself fold the rest of the way. 3 more deep breaths. Good, and then come out the way you went in, so with length and a flat back all the way up. Okay, so we're gonna go one more time, but this time intentionally rounding the spine. So round your spine, curling back here, and then keep that rounding action with the intention to bring the crown of your head toward your feet. You can always adjust how close to your pelvis your feet are from front to back, but really try to dome up your back like a turtle shell. Good, and then roll yourself all the way up. Good. Gathering your knees together, put your feet flat on the floor. Lean back on your fingertips. Start to rock your shins from side to side with flexed feet, just to protect your ankles and your knees. So keep your feet active here. And then let your knees fall one way and give a little extra weight to that leg that's internally rotating. If you want a little more sensation, think about twisting your heart away from your knees. Cool, unravel, uncross, and then to the other side. Good, and then release. Good, and then just give them one more little rock side to side. All right, so let's take just one side, whatever makes sense. Swing that top leg around back, coming into a stag pose. I've been digging this one lately. So a stag pose, you're gonna twist in the direction of your front knee and cross your elbow to the outside of the knee. And then round your back again as you twist. So I'm pressing elbow into thigh and then really rounding my back as I twist. Good. And then gently unwind, come up, switch your legs. Lengthen your spine first, twist, lean, elbow into the thigh. I like to make a fist, I think. And then it's important that you remember to round your back for this one, round your back. And use both the elbow and the supporting hand to twist for leverage. Good, and gently release. Okay, no hands. Can you switch legs? And again, let's do that a bunch of times. No hands, butt, leg, leg. So just from side to side, butt, leg, leg. Butt, leg, leg. So some core, some coordination with your breath. You don't have to go at this pace. You could go super slow. Okay, last couple of times. Awesome. All right. So we're going to go into full cow face next. So you can take your right leg on the bottom, left leg on top, and stack your knees as best you can. So your modification for this, if this is not proving possible in your body today, would be to outstretch your bottom leg and try to cross the top leg over into the cow face shape. So both sitting bones, we want to root down evenly. You can always sit up on something to even out your pelvis. Good. And then active feet evenly away from your hips. Sit up nice and tall. So whichever leg is on top, the opposite arm goes up. Bend the elbow and use your other hand to give yourself a tricep stretch. This pose the full pose is really challenging for me. I usually prefer to stop here. If you're going for open in your shoulders though, you'll release this other hand behind and try to make contact of the fingers. If not, if you're like me, I need to just be here because I can't breathe well. I start to hold my breath if I go too far. And so that's always a good sign that you should back up. So in either place, with your arms in either direction, only if you want to. If you need more sensation, you could fold forward. I don't think I need that today, but you're welcome to go there. Last couple of breaths. Can you, question mark, draw your front ribs in? One more breath. Good. With control, very gently release these arms. Ooh. Couple of shoulder rolls. And then just to enjoy the expansion after being all folded up like that, just release and open your legs. Your knees could be bent. You could be kind of like this. You could enjoy the stretch, but let yourself stretch and get big. And fold. If there's room to fold, whatever feels good, just something like this. We're just enjoying the freedom of the expansion after being all pretzeled up in cow face. Last few breaths. All right, lean back, bend your knees, bring the legs together. So we'll take the other side. So I think it was this way. Left leg under, right leg over. Yeah. This side might feel totally different, and that's cool. So take your time, just finding the legs first, getting whatever prop situated that you might need. Whatever leg's on top, the opposite arm stretches up to the sky. Bend the elbow, tricep stretch with the assist of your other hand. If you tried to go for the full wrap, the full grab, give it a try on the side too, just to see if this side is different. Because I'm like way closer on one side than the other. I always have been. I'm very I know I'm imbalanced in my shoulders, but I like to see how I'm shifting and changing. And you have the option to fold forward if you need more. Draw your front ribs in. Try to keep your breathing steady even as you experience challenge or likely discomfort in this pose. Good. And then gently release. Lean back. Again, Stretch out through your legs. Oh, just let yourself find some freedom here, maybe exploring some side stretching. But let it feel good. You could take Jani Shirshasana, you could take one leg, just sort of feeling it out here for yourself before we come down onto our backs. All right, when you feel good and you're ready to start to make way down onto your mat, have your blocks, if you've got blocks nearby, or whatever you have in terms of your props. Lean back, bend your knees. So come down onto your back, please, and bend your knees as if you were gonna do a bridge lift. We're gonna do a supported bridge with the block or blocks. So with the knees bent, with your head down on the ground, ideally with no blanket underneath you, just for your neck. You're gonna lift your hips and slide one block on its flattest setting. Or I would suggest if you have two and you wanna go higher, two stacked are more stable than one vertically, in my experience. So just find what feels good for you. It should be under your sacrum, which is the triangular flat bone, like right above your butt crack. And you want that to settle so that your glutes can be soft, but your blocks are not in your lumbar spine. So that's an important distinction. And then just let the weight of your pelvis give into your blocks. Now it actually tones and helps your vagus nerve, which Tierney's been talking about lately a lot. If you now draw your shoulders under on your back as if you were doing a full bridge. Because of how all the nerves intersect, this action of letting the chest lift up, coming in toward your chin while you're supported here is really good for your nervous system, amongst other things. So you can just enjoy being right here. You've got options as always. Some of which include stretching one leg down on the mat. This is going to be a lot more stretch in the front line of the body and the hip flexors, also in the low back. So this is one option, one leg or both. Or, and it's better to go one leg at a time just so that you don't hurt yourself. One leg in, other leg in, toward a supported shoulder stand. So we're going to be here about another minute with the invitation to move through any of these options. Just witnessing your breath naturally slowing down, your heart rate naturally slowing down. All right, you can slowly, if you want to move on, bring both feet back to the bridge place. Lift your hips, move the blocks. Let your hips come down and just pause there, resisting the urge to hug your knees into your chest just yet. Just let your spine neutralize. And then like we did when we were seated, start to rock your shins right and left. Feet are flexed to protect the ankle and the knee. And then let both knees fall to one side, and we'll take that ankle hook, so the outer ankle on top of the outer thigh. And then with this one, your arms can sort of disorganize like soft cactus arms, and you can look away from your knees. Gently release the legs and take it to the other side. And gently release your legs. Unwind. So I'm going to ask you now, if you're playing the music before we settle into Shavasana, to stop your music. So just as mindfully as you can. Stop your playlist. And then come back onto your back and take Happy Baby. Knees wide, soles of the feet up to the sky. Or you can hug behind your knees, gently rock from side to side. And lengthen the back of your body. And massage the low back there. And then with that space in the low back in particular, you can now release your legs and put your feet down and start to stretch the legs out for Shavasana. Now, if you find in your low back that it would be helpful to put something under your knees here, or to put your feet, sometimes I like to put my heels on the blocks if I'm feeling like tight in my low back or anything like that. You could put your legs up on the side of the couch or up the wall. Just a couple of minutes. Give yourself this gift of a couple of minutes here. I'm going to play some Om sounds, here for these last few minutes. And I can also say that if you know that you've got extra time for longer Shavasana, the Om is just the last track on the playlist. You could also just exit, turn off the screen now and play the Om track on your own. Otherwise, get yourself comfortable. Take a deep cleansing breath, and on your exhalation, see if you can just drop everything. Drop your need to control your breathing, to hold on physically to any tension, and to let yourself just breathe naturally, to let yourself be held, and to truly feel the effects of the practice that we just did. This is Shavasana. Just feel your breath. See if you can hear or feel the silent Om in your heart, in the moving of the blood through your bloodstream. All the prana moving through the energy channels. The Om in your breathing. The Om in the sounds of nature. And with a healthy amount of fatigue in your body from exercising and moving so well, but also with a sense of energy, of upliftment, of inspiration to move into this day with maybe a little more pep in your step. Stretch and awaken your body, bringing gratitude with you if you can. Bend your knees, roll to the side, and softly come up to your seat. And we'll gather together to close with our chant again. Gather your palms together in front of your heart and bring a little energy, a little heat between your palms. Open your hands, and as you gather your hands back together, just feel that tingle of electricity between your palms. Shoulders back. One of my intentions for this practice is, again, just to give you the positive encouragement of what your inner body already knows, your inner soul and your inner spirit, that moving your body, that exercising is so good for you and is so powerful and is such an act of love for yourself and for the people in the world. We are not powerless. We are quite empowered at this time. So just with that sense of expansion that it feels when we recognize that, we send the fruits of our practice to all beings everywhere. So if nothing else, please join in the last 3 Oms. Here we go. Deep inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. And so it is. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.